This is television for the Isles of Scilly, brought to you with Worldwide Financial Planning, Truro and Penwith College, and the Scilly Lottery. From Radio Scilly, this is scillytv.com. It's a shop with no produce on the shelves. It's not too unusual in Scilly in winter, when the supply boat the Green Maritha doesn't sail, but you would expect to see a business with bare shelves at the start of September. And that's because an Old Town lifeline is about to change hands. Val Balkwill is taking over the Old Town stores. It's been touch and go whether the community business stays open over the last year. First, its former proprietor, Dave Mabray, of the Isles of Scilly wholesalers over at Porthmelon, warns that closure was on the cards. Last year, it looked like there was nobody available to staff the business, and closing was an option. But at the 11th hour, a team member was found. Then, because of the cost of the lease, Dave was preparing to throw in the towel this summer. But again, there was a last-minute reprieve for the residents of Old Town when Val, who's worked in the business over the past year, stepped in to take it over. Val says as she's been involved for the past 12 months, she has an insight into what residents need, and she's going to try to meet those demands.
I sell a lot of pastas and Indian food and sort of like sauce mixes and things. People seem to like that down here, quite a lot of that. And the boys like their beers, and they like the Cornish beers, and they like their wine. So that goes quite well as well.
Val says that local islands produce is particularly popular, and she's been talking to farm providers to see what she can put on the shelves.
Then I'm going to ask the people what they want. And if I can get it, I'll get it for them. And I'm going to get some more local produce and go from there.
Val says she's also going to have to be flexible to the needs of the men working on the new school build and needs to make sure their needs are met in time for the height of the project, when up to 60 workers could be calling in for lunchtime snacks.
For the school builders, I'm going to open some longer hours for them. They're a nice bunch of lads that I've met so far. They come in for pasties. I've got to know them quite well. Not 60 of them. There's not 60 here at the moment. And they're a good bunch of lads. And I don't see why they couldn't come along and just get a snack when they want it. And the school children.
And apart from some minor changes in opening hours, it'll be business as normal from the weekend. Val says people have said she's crazy taking on a 6-day-a-week operation when many others her age would be enjoying their retirement. But she says she's a people person and putting her feet up is not for her.
I've always worked with people and talked to people. People can come in, they can have a chat if they want to. If they're not having a good day, I have a chat, I listen. That's all what it's all about. Not necessarily how much they spend. But if it gives older people a chance to come out and get a bit of shopping, whereas before they couldn't, they can sit down, I can make them a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever they want, and they're quite happy, and so am I.
The first consignment of goods from her new suppliers are expected to arrive ahead of the weekend, and the shop officially opens for business on Saturday. Val says she's had plenty of support from people in Old Town. Next door, Keith and Sue at the Old Town Inn are being supportive. Keith will help her out with her alcohol selling arrangements until she can sit a course and be allowed to sell drink in her own name next year. The only option was to do the course in the mainland and take 2 days out of her schedule, which she hasn't got time for, or wait until 2011 and sit the course in Scilly.
Keith is standing as a supervisor for me until I get my full licence.
So it's just continuing with the cleaning and scrubbing ahead of the big opening this weekend. And Val says all in all there's only going to be one major change. The name of the business. It'll be Old Town Stores No More.